It's it was been a big couple last weeks for Sony where they announced the PlayStation 5 Pro, and yeah, that's the news basically. It's supposed to be
Yes,
just
we should talk about the PS5 Pro.
a higher powered PS5, but for $700, and
Damn.
supposedly it'll be able to. So you know how a lot of the bigger games have sort of like you can run it in performance or um, what's the other mode, like I don't know, quality mode, where you can choose like do you want like the best quality resolution and graphics but have a slightly lower frame rate, or do you want like the max frame rate you can get but they have to like downscale the graphics a bit. Apparently with this you don't have to choose, it can be both.
Oh.
um,
Hmm.
I normally play in performance mode because I like just like a smooth picture. All the textures and resolution doesn't have to be perfect. Most of the time, I don't notice anyways. My eyesight's bad.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean, people have been like raking it over the coals because it is $700. It is digital only. It has no disk drive.
Yeah, disk drive sold separately for what?
Yes, you
Another
have to
how
buy. You have
much?
to buy a separate one.
Yeah.
Um, and it doesn't even have a horizontal stand,
Oh boy.
which people were mad about too.
Yeah.
So it's all vertical?
Well, you can buy the stand, but that costs a separate thing.
Um,
So they were saying like if you actually wanted the complete version, it's going to be more than $800.
uh,
So
well, I mean, if they were to put out I had a Spider-Man PS4 Pro. If they were to put out a Spider-Man PS5 Pro, my dumbass would buy it. So, I mean, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure down the line they'll have big bundle deals and stuff, but they're putting out just before Christmas,
Yeah.
so it's not going to happen between now and then. Um, but yeah, people are confused about why they're doing it. They say like this is like the time that they have to do it because usually when they put out like these like 0.5 iterations of consoles, it's usually just for like a cash boost because at this point and this price, like they'd be able to sell it for profit.
Yeah.
Because usually consoles when they first launch, they sell it at a loss. It costs more to make the thing than what they're charging for it. But they do that so that they get you into their ecosystem. They make money off of licensing games. They make money from their online storefront. That's kind of the goal, is just to get as many boxes and homes as possible. But with this, now they're able to make it for cheaper, slightly more powerful, and with that price point, they're actually selling it for profit. Who knows how much the profit? I don't know.
Well, yeah, and I can attest to that because I was working at a rather large gaming store.
GameStop.
Yeah, I was working at GameStop. When
What do they say?
when
Software, etc.
no, I was working at GameStop when the PS5 came out, and they were at a loss because they just couldn't put consoles in stores. That was the big thing. Was people wanted them, but we weren't getting consoles in stores, and because it was COVID and all that. So yeah, I mean, they were at a loss. So yeah, they're trying to recoup their losses from when the console came out. So I understand that. Um, I don't know. My dumbass will probably buy one in a couple years.
Yeah, and the conjecture is they have to do it now because at some point they'll they gotta start drumming up the PS6, eventually. And so, if,
Are we talking about the PS6 already? Too soon.
And
but I mean, if you imagine this as like
no,
if you imagine this as like the halfway point of PS5, then it makes sense.
Yeesh. Yeah, I guess, huh?
But yeah, I guess I would get one if my current PS5 like up and died. I mean, I guess I might as well. I'm sure it'll come down in price eventually, but it's not something that I'm particularly like want or need. You know, I think my PS5 currently does all right. You know,
yeah,
Totally.
mine as well.
you
I
know,
upgraded last Christmas. I bought the original launch edition a few Christmases ago, and then I bought the slim last Christmas. I bought one for me, and I bought one for my boys, and upgraded there. But I I'm okay. It works fine. It doesn't sound like a jet engine taking off, and so
yeah,
until it does.
yeah. From what I hear, it's like it's plus we're getting to the point in like graphic fidelity where just those like slight modifications, those slight upgrades, they don't make that huge of a difference.
Right.
I guess really what it comes down to is achieving that high fidelity while keeping 60 FPS, without your machine blowing up.
Yeah.
But there are a lot more things I'm looking forward to that I want to buy, like the next Switch, and then I'm also pondering maybe perhaps getting a Steam Deck.
Mm.
Thought about one of those for the portability. Seems kind of nice.
Yeah, for the portability and just also the fact that it's kind of just like a pre-built PC that runs most modern PC games that I can kind of like a Switch. I could just I'll be able to like dock it at my desk so I can play, keyboard and mouse games, and then take it to my living room so I can play kind of more action games with a controller.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, my brother, my baby brother, he got one at, I forget what it's called now. It's basically a Switch, but it's for PlayStation 5.
Oh yeah.
And it's about yay big. It's about the size of a Switch.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 portable. But
yeah,
but for that's not a console. You still need a PS5 to use that, right?
right. And the PS5 has to be on. Well, it turns the PS5 on at home.
Is it the PlayStation Portal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the Portal.
Yeah.
And my baby brother takes that around with him all over the place, and I got to play Madden on it, and it was just amazing.
You know what else? Right before these came out, the Portals, I bought one of these, which is just it plugs your cell phone in here on this end, goes into your cell phone. They make them for iPhone or for Android.
Oh, yeah, the backbone. Yeah,
you can use the PlayStation app to remote into your PlayStation and play games on it, and it works pretty damn well. I was doing it for some mobile on-the-go gaming for a while there, and it's pretty handy.
How's for both that and the Portal that your brother uses? How's the latency on that? Is there like noticeable delay in like inputs?
None as far. Yeah, I didn't notice any as far as the Portal went. It really seemed like I was playing a game on a Switch. There didn't seem to be any lag, any latency, anything like that. Like I said, I was only playing Madden.
But
yeah.
all it takes is for your PlayStation to be on and connected to your network.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could just like go down the street to a coffee shop, connect to their Wi-Fi, and play.
Yeah. So where we were playing was at my parents' house, and my parents live about a mile down the road from my brother's house. So I mean, we weren't too terribly far. But I imagine that if he was here with me, which is 30 miles away, we probably would get the same latency.
Oh yeah, I wasn't talking about distance. I just meant like because I don't think that because when that came out, I wasn't quite sure about the messaging. It seemed like you had to be on the same network in order for that to work.
No, I was.
No,
Okay,
I would imagine
that was
not
just
with the
like
Portal, but with the way I was doing it with my phone, I didn't have to be on the same network.
because I was because like with that I was just like, so what's the point? Why would I play my
right,
PlayStation in a different room?
Yeah, yeah.
right, yeah,
I mean, the only scenario I can think of is just like if like you have a partner or you have kids that want to use the TV, and you're just like, okay, I'll just
Yeah.
go in the next room with my Portal.
yeah, and they can switch to whatever they want. Yeah, no, yeah, we were down the street. He was on my parents' Wi-Fi, and his PlayStation was on his Wi-Fi, and it was great. My brother-in-law was playing for hours and hours. We had a little mini family reunion for my sister's twins' birthday a few weeks ago, and that was when everybody was playing the Portal and passing it around, and that's when I got a shot at it. And I got to tell you, I kind of want one.
Portal.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, yeah, that what were we talking about before? Oh yeah, Steam Deck. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. The Steam Deck is like, I mean, it's not. It doesn't cast from a box. Like the Steam Deck is literally the console. It's like a miniature game computer. I I think I definitely kind of like that rather than just like getting a new PC, to be honest. Because the new PCs are just
So,
for the
well,
latest for the latest and greatest, it's a lot of money for something that I'm not sure I'd use all that often. But if I had the option to like basically take it to the living room and play a different types of games with my Steam library, I think that's ideal. At least for the way I play.
It's not like the Portal,
No.
so you don't have to have your PC on. It's an actual console in and of itself, like a Switch.
Yeah.
But it has your Steam library. I mean, what? Because it's got Control up there, and I know Control is like a big graphics reliant game. Would I be able to play heavy graphics games on that?
That's what I'm told with the Steam Deck. I have a coworker who has one, and he says he loves it. They definitely when you go through Steam, they definitely have like a tag that says like optimized for Steam Deck, and so
Okay.
From what I can tell, like Steam Decks are pretty heavy hitting when it comes to like processing and GPU, but it's still not going to be as powerful as like a box PC,
Right.
but it's still pretty good. Like it'll play like most any game, but be able to just like downscale it enough that it can run on.
Okay. Because the game I'm thinking of off the top of my head is, I don't know if you guys ever played The Medium, which is going to be a game that I talk about with the spooky games. But like, I don't know if the Steam Deck would be able to handle that, because even my PS5 starts wheezing when I play that game.
Yeah, the drawback.
So I can't imagine.
Yeah, the drawbacks that I know with the Steam Deck, which makes it like that I'm not 100% on board with it, are, yeah, it's like a PC, so it's going to be cranking. I'm going to be really hot when you're playing really graphic intensive games, and then also like when you're playing in portable mode, I hear the battery is just like nothing. Like if you're playing it somewhere, like you got to find an outlet to plug it in.
It's like the Sega Game Gear.
Yeah, it looks like a Game Gear too, huh?
And yeah, it does. It really does. It reminds me of my Game Gear that I had back in the early 90s. Sega Game
there
Gear.
It is. Oh no, not shopping. Oh yeah, Sega Game Gear. We remember it. We loved it.
Yep, I had one.
All
man,
right.
it was color. It was portable and it was color.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I had Earthworm Jim on that thing. I loved
Ooh.
that game.
Earthworm Jim, classic.
I call that RFK Junior Simulator.
Oh wow. Excellent. Excellent. Topical. Love it.